Hey, poison ivy. Woo. Them gal here to fall in love and them ready for go bust some gay. Hey, poison ivy. Send them for earn your trust and you get.
Welcome, Brave Army, back to part 2 of the Amazon Flex video. I'm happy to have you guys back here. And we're just gonna jump right into those juicy details. Okay, let's get it. Before we go into the video, for those people that are on this video that haven't watched part 1, definitely check that out first. I don't want you to be confused while we're in this process. So go check that out and then come back to this video. All right, wait, what are you doing? Hit that subscribe bell, like and share this video, guys. Let's get it. So let's talk about what is the minimum amount of packages that you get, because I know as a newcomer, if you haven't done it before, that's kind of what you want to know, right? You don't want to go in there blind. So for the Seattle area, on the 4-hour blocks, I would say most of the times on a regular, the regular amount for a 4-hour block, I would say, is like 40 packages or 30 something that I would get. There's times when it's a little bit more, there's times when it's a little bit less. Now, there has been times, they have been good to me in 2020. There were times when you would go there and you would either get like a really small amount of packages that you're gonna finish before that 4-hour route, which is really nice because, like I said, the amount that you chose for the block is already guaranteed. So you're still gonna get paid that same amount of money for delivering a smaller amount of packages. Of course, this doesn't happen often, but when it does, it's definitely a plus because you can finish that out, and sometimes you end up getting paid $50 an hour or more, which is really nice, and it definitely boosts that paycheck. So it's super cool when that happens. There's other instances too where you'll go there and it's very overly crowded with people and they have too many drivers, and they will send you home and still pay you for your route. Like I said, I am not lying to you. This happens, but they are very rare instances that they do happen. Another positive is there is driver support with Amazon. So if you ever have an issue while delivering a package, like for example, maybe you can't get in contact with the customer, you can always call driver support and they will help you to maneuver that. Maybe you don't know how to get a locker or how to find something on the app. They are always there to help you while you're on your route. But if there's another issue, like I said, with the app or something, you definitely would have to contact support. Driver support only helps you with issues that pertains to a route or something in that area. So other issues about the app or any other thing that you're having trouble with, you would have to go through customer support, and that's by email. So that's something to keep in mind. Another positive for working Amazon Flex is that you get to meet a lot of people. And if you're like me and you love to talk, it definitely is a big plus because it doesn't matter if you're at the warehouse or on the block. It's definitely a good way to meet new people and see new locations. So for example, maybe you haven't ever been to a certain area, but working for Amazon, you learn a lot of different areas to go to, or you get to see a lot of different sceneries. And I find that very soothing and calm because it's almost like you're traveling, but you're on the job at the same time. So it's really cool. I definitely like that. I think that's something that I should put out there and let you guys know that, it's definitely something that you'll encounter, and you'll find yourself being able to maneuver your city sometimes without even using GPS because you worked for Amazon, because they send you in all those different areas. So that's also another plus that I think is a really good thing about working for Amazon Flex. Also, I wanted to let you know that there is a feature on the Amazon app that allows you to get instant offers, and it's just a little slide bar that you have to slide if you want to accept those instant offers while you're delivering, so you can make a little extra while you're on your block, or maybe you're not doing anything at your house and there's an instant offer that's close to you and it'll pop up, and you can accept it if you want to deliver that, or you can decline. So there's that feature. I've never really used it personally for myself, but it's definitely a pretty cool feature. You can test it out, see how you like it. So you're gonna click that slide button, and you're gonna get these pop-up messages to verify your identity, and then you're just gonna get your instant offers after that. So as you can see, it's just the slide button. Now that we've finished all the positives of working with Amazon, now we're gonna jump into the negatives. So there are times when you get a route and the driving time between delivering each package is sometimes a bit much, or you're ending up driving like 10 minutes in between packages. There's times when you get a route and it's a bit, the packages are a bit spread out over the map. I don't think a route like that is worth the amount that they give, because you're then burning a lot of gas to deliver all these packages. And sometimes they are giving you places that are very far out from, where you live, or the station may be very far out. So when you take into consideration driving to the station to pick up your packages, which might be 30 minutes away, an hour away, then you're picking up your packages, they're giving you an area that's spread out all across. You're spending 10 minutes to deliver each package, and then you're driving from that area where you finish delivering your packages and you're going home, which is another 30 minutes or an hour. Then you're spending a lot of gas. In that case, you're spending $40. It's like $40 to fill my tank in Seattle. So you're spending half of the money that you're earning to refill your tank. So then you're taking into account that you're getting that amount, but then you're having to spend on gas. So in those cases, I feel like that's a disadvantage. There are a lot of ways that I've seen Amazon improve this. They've been given packages now that are more closer or more grouped together, and they've really worked on this issue, because it's an issue that always comes up with drivers, and they're consistently always complaining about the spreading out of packages. So that's one downfall to the Amazon Flex app. Another negative would be when you finish a block and you weren't able to deliver a package due to whatever reason, may that be access problems, or you can't find the address, whatever the case may be. You then have to return the package to the station. Like I said before, the station may be like 30 to an hour away from where you were delivering, and they give you a deadline. So you either have to bring back the package right away, you have to bring it back by tomorrow at 10 a.m. So it's usually 10 a.m. that you get to bring back that package. It can be a bit much, because if you don't have a block for the next day, you still have to end up going to the Amazon warehouse to deliver a package for you're driving an hour to just drop off a package that was undeliverable. So that's one downfall to it. Another thing you should know with that downfall is you're usually gonna have a lot of access problems with certain areas. I live in Seattle, and a lot of the houses here, they don't have that
one-click
key fob on the
access.
app, but you click it and it basically opens the door for you. But those are with the higher end apartments. With older apartments, because they don't use key fobs, they either use, keys or stuff like that, like regular keys, you aren't able to access them. And if you're choosing a block that's like early in the morning or late in the night, at those times it's less likely for you to get access to the building because people are either sleeping and not able to come to the door. So it's definitely something to keep in mind when doing Amazon. It's one of those negatives that's going to come up quite a few times depending on the area that you're given to deliver in. Another downfall to delivering for Amazon is you don't get to choose where you deliver. So if I live in a certain area, say I live in Seattle, Washington, and I went to Amazon and they were in Everett, and I told them, I wanted to deliver to somewhere in Seattle, I cannot tell them, hey, I want to deliver Seattle packages. The downside is that you don't get to choose where you deliver. They just give you a package and you have to accept the route that they give you and deliver it. So that's one of the downsides, because you don't really know how far you're going to be driving, what amount of gas you're going to be burning in that route, much less how far it's going to be from where you live. So those are other things to take into consideration. Another negative that I would say delivering with Amazon would definitely be that there are certain issues that people at the warehouse are going to be unable to help you with. And on those issues, you will have to send an email to Amazon Flex Support, and they're going to have to take a while to reach out to you to resolve that issue. Because it's self-proprietor job and it's kind of like your own business, the people at the warehouse is a totally separate entity. They actually work for Amazon, so they won't know how to solve certain issues. Like, for say example, the app crashes or there's something that you can't get done, they aren't able to deal with those things. So it becomes a little bit stressful on you, because then you have to figure out how you're gonna deal with that issue. So that's another downfall, but it's not that big of a one. It's just something to keep in mind. Maybe this is just my OCD as well, but another downside or negative that I would say is that the packages that you do get, they are not organized. FYI. So that's a tip, a negative, everything. I want to give you the heads up. They're not going to be organized. Some people take the time at the warehouse to organize those packages and stack them in their car, so that when they're on the road, they can just grab a package, go, and deliver. However, trying to organize those at the warehouse takes more time out of your block. So it's really a double-edged sword, because if there's traffic, that might take more time when you actually end up leaving after organizing. So you really have to play it out. For me, I personally just throw them in my car and go, because I never feel like I have enough time to organize, and then I just search around in my car for the package. It's not that big of a deal, but it would have been nice if Amazon would organize those packages for us in sections, so that you know where the package is, and you can put it the way that it's gonna be delivered in your car. Would definitely help, but it's not a big deal breaker. It's just something to think about. Another negative to think about, or just a food for thought, is because this is your own business, Amazon does not is not gonna be held liable if something does happen to you on the road. They do have insurance, but it's only when you have insurance, so they match their insurance based on yours. So if you have full coverage and something happens to you on the road, I think they will pay back your insurance for the amount that whatever happens to you and so on. But if you don't have insurance, then they will not be held liable for it because you're your own person and own self-proprietor. So that's another thing to think about when doing Amazon, making sure that you have some kind of coverage. And I say this because I'll give you guys a backstory. There was a time I was delivering for Amazon. It was snowing really bad in Seattle. It was in that time, I forgot what year it was, where we got like horrible snow. Seattle had never seen that kind of snow before in Amazon. And I decided to still pick up a block, and I don't know what happened, but I was delivering a package, and when I went back, my car was still running, but my door to get into my car was closed. Don't know how it happened. And I was in the middle of delivering packages for Amazon. What happened was Amazon doesn't, there's nothing they do in those circumstances. I know it's a 1 in a million thing to happen, but it happened. So to protect yourself, I would say a tip is definitely to have like some kind of thing with your insurance. Maybe you have Geico, who has like roadside assistance or something, or AAA if you need it, because they don't take care of those small issues. They do, however, helped me by saying that I didn't have to finish delivering the packages, or that I could deliver the packages later after getting my whole car thing sorted out. But I mean, you know, how much help is that? So protect yourself in those instances. Make sure that you have those insurances that you need, and or that AAA. It definitely comes in handy. And I will keep preaching that till this day, because that was definitely a lesson for sure. All right, so taking all of that into account, guys, I would still definitely recommend Amazon Flex 100%, 110%, honestly, because especially for the Seattle area, because the amount that they pay is really great. And like I said, most of the times when they give packages, it's actually not a terrible route. You do have times when you get like routes, like I said, they might be 10 or more minutes in between packages, but for the most part, they're a little bit shorter. So like a minute, 2 minutes in between packages, and you're not burning a lot of gas for that. So in those instances, I would say the amount that they pay, it's definitely worth it. Each person's situation is going to be different, but I think they're a very good side hustle for sure. And you should definitely check them out if you haven't. Hey, before you go, I do have another life hack for you. I wanted to let you know that there's an app called Miles IQ. I'm gonna leave it in the description box below, or you can find it on your app store, where you can basically track your mileage, and it tracks your mileage for you. Like, you don't have to worry about it. That way you're not having to write down every mile that you go on the trips and all that stuff. So it just makes it a little bit more accessible and easier. You do pay a premium or a standard price. You might also be able to get it free. I'm not sure about that, so don't quote me on it. If you do pay for it, like I said, you can always write that off on your taxes as well. It's definitely something to keep in mind when thinking about doing Amazon Flex. So that's my last tip for you guys. I am gonna send all the positive energy your way with much love and a big hug, because I think that's what the world needs a lot more of these days. So I'm gonna look forward to talking to you guys more in my next video. I'll see you guys later. Bye. And remember, you can hack it.
Hey, poison, 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 poison ivy. Them gal here to fall in love and them ready for go bust some. Hey, poison, 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 poison ivy.